Hello my lovelies. Right, I'm just working out what has happened to my light. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Right. I think if I put that on there, right, it should work. Oh. Ooh, there we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna have myself a coffee, I think. Oh. Oh my goodness, right. Playing this properly, okay? If you're viewing this, hello, how are you? Sorry about this, I've just been having a cracker and some hummus. That's what 49-year-old men do, we eat crackers and hummus. My life. Right then. We only do with adjusting this bloody webcam's position at some point, because it isn't optimal for what I need at all. I'll work it out. Right. Yummy. Okay. Now I'm pretty sure I've got nothing in my calendar today. No, of course I haven't. Great. Phew. Thought I might have to be teaching something. Okay, so I'm going to start the game up. Now I'm rough starting it because obviously I'm inside of Unreal Engine. This isn't actually the built one. This is the most recent one. So this one's going to be compiled later on. Okay, so game's on now. Hello cat, what do you want? Oh, is that you, Jim? Right. What have you got? Oh well, there's cats for you. Hello Buzz, how you doing? Come here, Bubba. Right. So our first port of call in the game, okay, if everything's working, is I'd go and talk to the sailors. Okay, well, firstly, the return gondola isn't here anymore. The return gondola used to be here, and now it isn't. Okay, so, tough shit. So, I'll get rid of that message eventually. I'll put him down there and he can talk about something else. Okay, now, over here, these guys don't want to talk to us. You can see. What are you doing? Nothing for you to worry about, he says. His friend briefly glances towards the far side of the platform. What's he talking about? Well, we know what he's talking about, really. We know he's talking about his little chum over here, the geologist. However, we can now activate the radio. Now, the radio is in need of bug fixing. But it works.
To Rack is a troublemaker. Can't have walking around in the into the sea. Walking around.
Well, that was weird.
The sea.
As usual, you can find various kinds of written journals and books around here. Again, I need to work on the interactivity on those because the boundaries are a bit odd. Right, now here is Mr. Peter the Vole. Hello Peter, how are you? Okay, so I can talk to Peter and all that biz if I need to. Okay, so usually what I would be doing is I would be zooming around here, grabbing the bits I need, that and that, and then I'd get onto my gondola, which is why you're hearing the music, because it has a built-in radio, and travelling across to the mainland. Now we can do that, or we can travel across by, if I come down here, I can travel across by a boat, so I don't have to do any of that if I don't want to. It's a longer way of doing things, in a way, because the gondola is actually a lot faster than people realise, but at the same time, if you just can't be asked, I can understand that, or if you want to find a new route across, I can understand that too. So, I'm going to walk down the gantry here, and I'm always very careful when I create these gantries to make sure that physically they look like they're going to work. I know that seems like a strange obsession, but you know, it's important. Right, I'm now on the ship, having caused myself some damage by falling from that platform there and hurting my legs. If I press F, I can put my torch away, and I'll just quickly combine my torch and my batteries together. Right, so now, this is just a bonus feature of being able to go on this boat. You're supposed to go over there on the gondola, which is where you'll get the puzzles and meet Malin and stuff. But if you don't want to do that, you know, I don't force you to. Over there, you can see the back end of the ship that left. Okay, that's the ship that you couldn't get in time to take you to the island. Ironically, it takes about 9 times longer than this boat that we're on at the minute, the Amanda 2. Hello PH King, how are you doing? I'm doing a quick play test on some of the new functionality that I put into the game, just in case you're wondering. I've got to be real careful though, because if I fall when I get to the main island, I'm going to get killed and sent all the way back again. So, fingers crossed. Right, so here we can see some of the weird props that I just left lying around on the islands and things. You know, I don't give explanations for the reasons things are here, but everything is here for a reason. Especially this double weird statue here. Now you maybe think to yourself, well, what possible use is the big weird statue? Well, that had a functionality early in the game when Gondola Island first got built. Okay, because these islands were the first ones to get built over here as an extension. And at the time I needed some code to act as kind of a loader for the rest of the world, and I didn't have that. So what I did was I made that so it was literally like a loading gate, and then I thought, well, I'll keep that in and make it like this big esoteric piece. Oh no, there's multiple ways of doing everything. That's the whole point. The whole point, PH, is that if you want to you know, go across to the island by the easiest way possible, you can find it. And then when you get to the island, if you just want to do the most boring job possible, you know, load up the fuel, make sure the lighthouse is working, and then go to bed, you do that. Everything in this technically is, you know, you deciding what you want to do. And sometimes, by deciding what you want to do, you'll end up here on this boat for like 5 bloody minutes, going, why am I here, you know? Other times you'll end up on a faster route that may be more dangerous or may not be more dangerous, and it's up for you really to decide. The whole point is that I want people to be able to go back and do this and replay it and go, ah, right. It's like there's things that people won't notice at first, you know? And I want people to come across things and go, that was interesting, how did I find that? Now don't get me wrong, there's probably, oh, that was close. Wow, I might put a sound on that because that was really close. I love that you can hear the little putt-putt noise of the ship as well. And oh, something over there is happening in the distance. I wonder what that is. I'm sure it's nothing important. I haven't decided if I'm keeping these little visual clues in or not either. I might. Well, then again, I might not. It's very relaxing on board the boat, though. The thing is, as a kid, one of the things I really used to enjoy, tentacle porn, one of the things I used to really enjoy as a kid was going on boats. I always loved going on boats and ships and things. And I've always loved the sea, I've always loved rivers, all sorts of things like that. And so the opportunity to like include it into the game is, well, for me, fantastic. Sorry, there's a reason I'm looking over here. I haven't hidden a bit of geometry, so I need to look this way until whatever it is gone. Again, there's always a reason for this. Now, some people are going to think, oh, at this point we've reached the main island. Brilliant, we could start playing. No, you can't. Although, I may allow the player, if they want to wander over to here and jump off as the ship's going by. It's just then I'll have to work out a way for them to kind of get off this bloody island again. So I'll probably put this on, but this will be later. And for the time being, anyone jumping off is just going to be stranded and sad. I mean, there are quite a few mesh errors, as you can see here, that need to be resolved anyway. It's just I've got to be very careful about it. So this is us going through the weird cave. Full of weird things. There is things in here. Again, but I'm not going to bother bringing too much attention to them. Oh, lovely. And as we come out, lovely, lovely, lovely. Right, so we're actually a lot closer to the main island now than you realise. It's just, obviously it's hidden on the front here, in front of this ship. Now I'm going to change the collision meshes on this and make it so that this is a lot easier for people to kind of wander around on. But again, this is just a side thing. This is one of the 4 ways of getting to the island. 5 if I include the last method, which I am considering, if nothing else, just as a kind of developer option. But for the minute you can get to the island, you know, by using this, by using the gondola, by using the gondola and by using the minecart, by using the gondola and walking. And there is actually going to be a magical way of getting to the island as well, and I will leave that entirely up to you. I just try and make things, you know, as deep as possible in that regard. Now then, I like walking over here to look at these things. We can see in the distance, I think, or we should be able to soon. Yeah, I did say this isn't a shortcut. This is just a different way of getting to the island. Technically, I could just, you know, automatically start on the island if I wanted to, but I'm kind of doing a playthrough this way, and this gives me a good idea of kind of how much time this method is taking. Bearing in mind, I know exactly what it is I need to do in order to advance the plot. Obviously, people who are not playing this, you know, if they come in this way, they're still going to need to go and talk to Malin and activate the actual plot itself. So, oops, oh no, well, shit. This thing has been a bugbear for a while. I'm now on a submarine, incidentally. Okay, so we know that the submarine is not a good plan. That is now deleted and saved, because I was getting fed up with that anyway. Okay, well let's just go over to the island. because I was close enough that I don't really want to have to do this bit again. All it's going to do is add like another 3 minutes to the procedure anyway. And over here, I'm just going to right click and play from the grass, and hopefully not fall through it. Did I just fall through the grass? Oh, of course I did. There we go. Right, thank goodness for collision measures, eh? Right, now, if I come down here, this is, there it is, that's the bit I'll be coming up on, so I'm just going to quickly check that works okay. Also being careful, obviously, that my health doesn't deteriorate crazily, because I am playing it in mode. So, yep. Nice. Barnacles galore, you can almost taste them. Okay then, now, I don't have my torch now, which is a bit of a pisser, but I can grab a spare one up by Malin. So what I'm going to do is come up here. Okay, and grab that tank of fuel. And then with my tank of fuel, you'll notice again, these are on standby on my wicks, so I should be able to make my electric come on. I might change the emissive value on those to 0 as well for the actual materials. I shall see. Oh god, this is hard because I can't see anything. Hang on. I'm going to go over here and catch Malin because I need to talk to him and get a torch. And thankfully he is over here. Hiya Malin, how you doing? Hope you're well. Because without a torch this is going to be very, very hard. Or flashlight, as the Americans call it.
Welcome to the room. Your first time here, she's up young. Welcome to the room. Get the torch. Your first time here, she's up here and see it. Prime the bottom piece of it, then run up and start.
Right, so I can see there's a bug there needs fixing, but that's okay, it's nothing serious. Right, so got my torch, not that it made much of a difference, but at least I can see the steps now. Bear in mind, it's not even night time, it's very dark down these steps, okay? And the reason you need the light is because you're bound to forget and fall to your death at least once. I mean, while testing it, I've fallen to my death several times. Because there's only a certain amount you can fall before you die. Oh, see that? I literally fell off the edge here. Okay, so again, I'm not trying to hold people's hands. At the same time, I don't have time to go around and, like, you know, set up all the barriers anyway to stop people falling to their death. So, oh, there's some birds. Right, so I'm here. Okay, so if I come over and just press that button, trying to get this turned on. Alright, it's going to get pretty busy in here. The lights should come on. Yeah, it looks like it's worked. These are now no longer illuminated as heavily as these ones are. Yeah, look, they're all illuminated properly. So I can hear the generators going. Okay, and my goal now is just to get up to the garden. It's taken me, knowing how to do this, it's taken me about 22 minutes. Now, not all of the lamps are using the correct lamp mesh, but that's okay. They don't need to. Also, I will be taking off the ability to run constantly. This is literally just a developer thing. So, sorry dudes. Right, so over here we have the garden, which just came along nicely. Put my torch away. So here we have parsley and garlic and stuff. why would we possibly need parsley and garlic and stuff? Well, one, you know that our lighthouse keepers need a hobby. Okay, so growing these veggies is going to be keeping them sane. And there's the parsley. I can't remember which one that one is. And there's the other one. And incidentally, these are the correct seasonal vegetables for the correct time of the year. Just in case you're wondering. Okay, now up here we've got new walls came in, and the new lake, which is here, or pond, or whatever you want to call it. Everything has a reason and a use. Okay, there's the underneath there. Over here is the diaphone hut. I'll just check that's still working okay. Yeah, that's fine. And then over here, as you can see, this area is not quite finished yet. No taters. I'm not sure if April is potato season or not, actually, PH. So I'll look that up. But if it is actually, yeah, I will need potatoes. So I'll have a look at that. Right, so let's go up here. And in. And of course, got two rooms, including this one, which is locked. This one, what isn't locked? Okay. There's the study. There's the island. And that's where we are, just up there. Yeah, that's fair enough then. Okay, so in that case, I shall put potatoes in. How does that sound? Yep, projector room's locked. Just for you, PH. I may even call them PH King's potatoes. And there we are, we made it to the bed. So, obviously if I'm not bothering to like do any talking about things, if I'm not bothering to discuss with Malin, for example, anything, or, you know, do any exploration or anything on my first day, or even leave the lighthouse, which I can do, and do stuff, then that is where the day would come to an end. If I was, oh Jesus, if I was not doing it that way, then obviously things would be different. So, let's see. I just want to see if I can get up as far as the observatory, which I need to work on soon. It's HDRI, Bart. It's HDRI. I considered volumetrics, but the problem with volumetrics is I'm trying to aim at something like a 970 to 1060 as a bare minimum. Basically I'm looking at kind of using the Valve handheld as like a bare minimum system, and so volumetric clouds are really, really intensive on what I'm doing and would not be very helpful. Oh, what's going on in there? That's weird. I'm going down to the sea. Oh, M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-E-E. There will be more stuff out of here soon, it's just not needed at the minute. So for day one I don't need a load of stuff out here on this kind of top part of the lighthouse. Also, you may have noticed by now that the lighthouse itself has not loaded. Its streaming volume is currently turned off just to save a few resources. It is aliens. It is aliens. Okay, so that's worked okay. Now, I'm going to do a test on the Christ, what's it called again? The gondola itself. Because I want to see if I can use the gondola and then come across using the minecart, just to make sure that works properly as well. Much, much faster than going across on the boat, obviously. So, I come in about here, right click, play from here. My frame rate at the moment is 197. Although, to be fair with you, I'm using a 3070 for development purposes. So, it gets to a steady 30 to 60 on a low end system in a minute, which is what we want. second. Excellent. Sorry, I was just quickly checking something. Okay, so the 3070 is a beautiful card. I love it a bit. I was going to get a 3080, but obviously they'd sold out like pow, gone. And my 8GB 3070 is more than enough what I need. And frankly, having an 8GB limit on my card makes things a lot easier for me as a developer, because I then know exactly kind of what walls I'm hitting and why. So it makes me happy. So, LCP, if you're watching, I'll just finish running my test and then I'll do that thing you've asked me to do, okay? So, I'm not ignoring it. And I'm not going to do the call, obviously, while I'm on the game dev, because that would be very silly. Right then, so up here you can see slightly more stuff. Oh my word. Ooh, thanks, Bob. The important thing for me is just making the game comfortable for people on lesser spec machines. Most of the initial development on this was done on 3GB 1060. And you know, the 1060 is a great card. My son still has one, but obviously, because I do a lot of streaming and broadcasting, because I do a lot of streaming and broadcasting, thank you. I hope you've got an awesome beard too, PHK. Yeah, because I've got an 3070, it means that I can do more kind of stuff like streaming and stuff, and it makes it a lot easier for me. I like that you've got the music warrior in here as well. Oh, here's that island we were just in. We're just going through it. I've still got a test piece of geometry there, which I'll get rid of soon. And something's happening over there. I wonder what it is. Who knows? That's okay. To be honest, people have different views on beards. Some people with beards, you know, that have got really big beards, sometimes the place they work at or whatever, they're all like, oh, that beard's too big, you're far too manly, get it shaved. So I can understand why some people kind of have much shorter beards. This beard is actually small, short for me. My beard last year was like down here, really huge, and I'm considering I'll probably let it do that again over the winter and kind of get myself a really big kind of dirty old Father Christmas's disreputable brother beard going on. Now I have had a couple of issues with the next part of this puzzle. Well, it's not even a puzzle, part of the route. Okay, so this is route 2. Now route 1 is you do all the puzzles. You know, you do things, you bring the stuff for the Hatite and Nars, and the gate opens and you go through that way. Oh yeah, I've got photos of it somewhere. I'll drag out the photo. Hang on a second, PH. Let me just get off this bloody gondola. Okay, I'll get off this gondola. And I'm pretty sure I have a photo of the biggest beards. So I'll just go into pause mode. I agree, Bart. The ocean is always going to be a problem for me, so that is something I will be working on. Oh, there you go, look, PH, there's my beard when it was kind of mid-range. That's when I got it cut last time, because it had been down to about my top button here. I don't know if I've got an older photo than that at the minute. Photos, I probably have actually. Oh, here's a good one. This is one when it was quite long. You see? Quite long beard. I was at a wedding that day, I believe. I was doing the wedding music. Anyway, back to this. So, I've got my torch. I can listen to the radio if I want to, especially. So, I need to make sure my torch has got shit in it, otherwise I'm going to die. PH King, regarding the, not PH, sorry, Bart, regarding the tiling of the ocean, it's really difficult regarding the tiling of the ocean. Obviously it's more visible when I'm inside of the gondola. So one of the things I'm considering is bringing down the visibility in the gondola and maybe have slightly more ground fall. But again, I've got to be careful not to kind of lessen the frame rate for people on lower spec cards, so it's something I need to think about. Now down here there used to be like loads of lamps and things, not so much anymore. Again, you know, plenty of jumping out and shit. Not too much, but plenty. Oh yeah, I agree. The only problem with the big waves is that it causes a few issues, you know, because... Come back! There we go. Oh, fell off again. It's because the ceiling's nice and low, you see, but it means I can chase after the truck now. I love how it tilts when it goes around corners as well. Come back, truck 2. Because a lot of people don't realise you can kind of ride the mine carts if you're on time, and if you're not on time, well, never mind. And that leads us to here, where I can just jump from one rail to another rail, and then if you're very cunning, you can kind of work your way around this, which isn't easy. No one said it would be easy though, so there you go. Anyway, here's some... Oh god, what's happened there? Oh no, that's fine, that's just the texture, the way the texture is. I'll sort that out with some rocks. It's a bit strange though, isn't it? Yeah, I definitely have to sort that out because it looks a bit weird. But this takes us to the part where we got off the small boat, and then obviously we end up back up here with Malin. Now, if you don't want to do it that way, if you want to come across, do it the other way, which is of course perfectly acceptable. Doop, doop, doop. There we go. Then you would be coming out over here on the walkway, because you'd have finished the puzzle and came out on the concrete walkway. Now, I believe the concrete walkway is designed as a one-way puzzle, so, you know, it's quite high to climb back up onto. You can get up onto it, but it's going to take you a bit of time to fart around, you know. So, just so you know. There was actually a statue down here that you could talk to back in the day, but I've kind of removed that now, so... Instead it's just these lamps. And also these lamps here using the old ones, so I'll probably have to change these soon. Okay, so... oh, thanks Bart. There's been an awful lot. I mean, on day 2, there's also, you know, there's loads of stuff that you can't see here because it's obviously hidden behind the day 2 kind of scenarios and stuff. This is just literally day 1. But for me, the most important part is to keep going back and revisiting day 1, because you're going to get a lot of people who play the game and maybe they get stuck on day 1, or they spend most of their playtime basically on day 1. Because of that, you want the first day to be, you know, polished and working really, really well. After that, the rest of it should just kind of fit together because people's expectations are being fulfilled regarding the quality. I mean, by the time you get into maybe the second week, I think it is, you know, there's a lot of big changes happening to the island, but the important ones are day one. The water down here, now that I've got a second to kind of talk about it, so I'll change to unlit mode again. The water down here is actually quite an interesting thing because, there we go. The way the water works usually was that I was using Waterline Pro as my water plugin, and that was working okay, but I had a few problems with it. So what I'm doing now is I'm using this instead, the what do you call it, the actual built-in water system inside of Unreal Engine, which is great. I really like the Unreal Engine water system. A problem with that though is always going to be, of course, that it's very much in beta, so I'm having to do a lot of work to try and make it work, if you get what I say. Right, I'm just going to quickly finish off what I'm doing by dropping some foliage into here, and I want to get some old rotten brush because this is water, a couple of clovers, a couple of flowers, nothing major. I'm going to get some small rocks in here. Now I've got individual settings for each of these to make my job easier. There we are. Now what I need to do is basically pack out the areas down the edges because they're the important ones. Okay. And you can see there the stones and things, and like everything's underwater, which is great. Okay, so just building it up now. Most of the time I teach this to ArchViz people, you know, how to place like foliage in a realistic way, and it really does make a world of difference to your model if you do this properly. Okay, you can see there. It's intensive on your system, but the good thing is you can turn foliage on and off. Now I'm just going to turn everything off again, and then I'm just going to grab some of these little rocks. So I want this one, this one, this one, these small ones here as well, because I just want some breakers on the actual shore, and their purpose is just to break up this straight edge like this, because the more we break up this straight edge the better. Okay, so that's breaking up the straight edge a bit. Now I'm going to go and find some rocks, because God knows I've got enough of those as well. So mode, select. If I press that, that'll just automatically open this. Now I've got it on static static mesh. So I'll bring in this rock. This is one of the first assets I actually created, believe it or not, for this game, was this rock. And this rock's actually really quite clever, because, let me copy it. If I reposition it, the moss stays on the top of it. Okay, so it's using a height-based trick just to kind of keep the moss on the top. So that makes things look a lot better for me, because obviously it's breaking it up. Oh yeah, in lit mode it's super hard to find the edge. Now what I can also do is make some bigger ones, and the idea is that, you know, this is the dock. This is one of the reasons they don't have ships come down here so often, is because, you know, this is really slowing things down. They've got all the rocks falling down here. They're trying to keep it clean, but it's an island. That's what they do. Let's drop this in, and I'm just going to rotate it completely, and you'll see that the moss sticks to the top. Love that. And I can adjust how much moss is stuck to the top as well, but I'm just using material functions, you see. I love material functions. Okay, that's good. Now if I go back to my modes, where's my modes? There it is. Foliage. I can now drop some of these around, and I'll also pull in a couple of plants. Okay, so now the rocks have plants on, which makes them look even more dynamic. So all we're doing is applying foliage to foliage. Right, now if I come out of this, so mode, select, and then change this to lit, there. And you can see now that they're kind of rushing around the plants, but the edge is much less defined. Okay, if I was to just place, let me see, a point light down here, just to show you. You can see it does a much nicer job of it. Okay, so that's exactly what I wanted. Oh god, yeah, you've got to remember the good stuff, man, Bart, because the thing is, I mean, I'm over 2 years into development now, and it's going to suck. You know, occasionally this game is going to, you know, everything you're doing is going to suck balls, and you're going to be feeling sad about it. So you've got to remember the good bits. Otherwise, it's like, you know, why are you doing it? I think I'll put this rock circle here. I like the idea that someone's just like came down and just dumped this rock circle here. Why would they do it? Who knows? But it's here. I very much like, I always talk about this. I still remember the Bob Ross method of doing stuff, you know, which is like, why is that there? Because I want it to be there. It's a happy little accident, maybe, but I like it. Okay, now, I've got some other things I can have kind of in this, but I think too much is going to be overkill. I would like a lamp down here. Happy little trees, my friend. Well done. I would have a lamp down here, but I don't think that's logically very... Look at that. You can see that is actually just a whole boat turned upside down. I think I'm going to not bother. Because changing the light here anyway would change the whole kind of look and feel of it, so that's not really a problem. I don't think I need to change that over here particularly, because this one's coming right into the shore anyway. So I've got the break here that I need, so that's suitable. That is suitable. I'm happy. Alright, so let me see. It's 1:30. I think I need to do a couple of other things that aren't game related. And see you later, Bart. You take a really good afternoon, okay? And it's been fantastic having you over here. Please do come by again. I'm PH King, as usual. You are cool and awesome. In fact, yeah, there you go. But I am going to log off, and much love to all of you. You all take care. I'm going to compile this and have this over.